New intro. So much love and appreciation to those of you who have been with me for the 2 year period plus that I've been doing this. Thank you for showing your love and support to the channel. And to anybody else who is brand new to the platform and you would like to support the channel, also you can do it by way of Patreon, Anchor, the clothing store, and also the shoe shop that is listed in the comment description below. And again, thank you to any and all of you guys who have been here to support this channel during the 2+ year period. I wouldn't be able to do what I do every single day without you.
Morning, Trooper Brown, Nevada Highway Patrol. How are you today? I'm doing great. Hey, the reason I'm stopping you, we have a special enforcement campaign going on. We're trying to educate drivers about violations they may not realize they're committing, but we're seeing a big increase in crashes out here. First, applaud you on your driving. You drive great. You're driving really slow. It appears that you're trying to drive safely under the speed limit. I appreciate that. I just want to talk about your following distance, especially around commercial vehicles. Came up behind a red and blue tanker truck. A little bit too close behind him before he made that lane change to go around him. I know it's sitting over there. I was waiting for you to trying to give you room to get over there because I know people like to jam you in that lane.
Turkey coming out of there and people are driving fast. So
yep, absolutely. Yeah, you got to navigate that, but a little too close to him before he went around him. Okay. As you passed those semi trucks and you came back down to make that lane change in front of that semi truck, too close. You were less than a second in front of him when you entered that lane. You were only 1 second in front of him when you fully occupied that lane. If something were to happen to you, man, that semi-truck would plow right through you. So we're seeing a bunch of crashes out here, just trying to educate people. You got your driver's license with you?
Sure.
Awesome.
I appreciate you, by the way.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Do you have a registration card with you?
Well, it's a rental car here.
Okay.
So I do have my rental. If you don't mind, it's underneath here.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Any weapons in the vehicle?
No, absolutely.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, if you can grab the rental contract, that'd be great, man. Where are you coming from?
Texas.
What brings you all the way up here?
Well, my daughters live here and I'm spending the weekend with them. So.
Okay. Here in Reno or whereabouts?
Well, Portola.
Okay.
And then we're going to spend the weekend in Reno.
Okay. When you got to get back down to Texas?
2 days. Well, actually, 1 day.
Okay. Gotcha. Perfect. Do me a favor, man. What I'm going to have you do, I'm going to have you come out of the car and talk to me while I go over this. Got to make sure everything's valid. As long as everything's valid, my intention is to get you on down the road. It is a little chilly out here. I don't know if you want to throw your jacket on or anything like that. You sure?
Yeah, sure.
It's cold, man.
It's
I mean, I know it's cold in Texas right now.
Cold in Texas, absolutely.
Come on out. No weapons on you, right?
No weapons.
All right, perfect. That's fine, man. You can leave it on. You can turn it off. It's completely up to you.
Wealth is breaking ground on
I know you're just doing your job. That money I worked really hard for. Money that I have in my jacket is only $2. I have money to pay for my kids, my bills, my hotel. We're going to get that car back to Texas. So, I know you're just doing your job. I don't know what to do. Probably going to be stuck here unless somebody sends me some money. No way I'm riding for my children this week. Get back to Texas. So, like I said, I know you're just doing what you feel is best, but
Like you know, my sergeant. It sounded like my sergeant talked to you about that a little bit and told you what was going on and everything along those lines. So
I just wanted to tell you, Officer Brown, I mean, you're taking money out of my kids' mouths.
sorry.
Or you're taking food out of my kids' mouths.
Like I said, we believe right now that this is drug proceeds, illicit currency.
Well, I'm going to prove to you that it's not.
Perfect.
And what I'd like to do is, before we depart, I'd like to get all of your information.
You will. You're going to get a receipt for all of this stuff. That'll have all the information that you need.
I'd like to get your information, your sergeant's information,
It's all
other deputies.
The stuff will be on the receipt and associated with the report that goes along with it. Okay.
Well, I'd like that names.
Okay. Well, the information that we're going to provide you, we're going to provide you a receipt for the currency along with the case number, right? That's the information that we're going to provide for you.
I just need names because, I'm going to get an attorney. So
Absolutely, that's your right.
The Nevada troopers first told Stephen Lore that Highway Patrol was educating drivers about violations they may not realize that they're committing, and that he'd been pulled over for following a tanker truck too closely. Eventually, the trooper admitted to having an ulterior motive, which is stopping the smuggling of illegal drugs, weapons, and currencies as they crossed the state. Laura, a former Marine who says that he was on his way to visit his daughter in Northern California, insists that he was doing none of those things, though he'd readily admitted that he had a lot of cash in his car. As he stood on the side of the road, police searched his vehicle, pulling nearly $87,000 in a zip-top bag from Laura's trunk and insisting a drug-sniffing dog had detected something on the cash. Police found no drugs, and Laura, age 39, was charged with no crimes, but police left with his money, calling a Drug Enforcement Administration agent to coordinate an adoption which allows federal authorities to seize cash or property they suspect is connected to criminal activity without levying criminal charges. It was only after Laura got a lawyer and sued and talked with the Washington Post about his ordeal that the government stated it would return all of his money. Asked for a comment on the story Tuesday, spokespeople for the Justice Department, the DA, and the Nevada Highway Patrol all declined. But Wednesday, after the story first was published online, a DEA spokeswoman, Annie Edgecombe, stated that the agency made a decision to return Laura's money, and Justice Department spokesman Joshua Stuyve stated that the government is reviewing existing policy on adoptive forfeitures. To law enforcement, Laura in many ways fits the profile of a drug trafficker. He planned to drive more than 40 hours over 4 days in February from Texas to Northern California and back. In addition to the cash, he had a stack of receipts showing ATM withdrawals of more than $130,000 over 3 years, seeming to anticipate the bills in his trunk would draw questions. Video of the stop recorded on multiple body cameras shows a trooper and Laura having a genial conversation, with Laura agreeing to be searched. The troopers pull the cash from his trunk and remark that the bills seem to be new. Laura points to the receipts, which states that he proves that the money is his. A state trooper stated that, as odd as it seems, everything lines up. So let me just be honest for a minute. It sounds like he was racially profiled. Now I'm just looking at the picture of, what he looks like facially, right? And I'm just going off of that solely, right? And they stated, as I quote to law enforcement, quote, Laura in some ways fits the profile of a drug trafficker. He planned to drive more than 40 hours over 40 days in February from Texas to Northern California and back. In addition to the cash, he had a stack of receipts showing ATM withdrawals of more than $130,000 over 3 years, seemingly to anticipate the bills in his trunk would draw question. And then on top of that, one of the patrol officers stated that, yeah, it does look a little bit iffy, but everything checks out. But yet they still ran off with the money. Now, mind you, if he would have never made a whole big fuss about this, I promise you the cops would have kept the money and they would have found some way to split that money up in between each and every one of them, because that's what they like to do. Because as which was stated, they said that, hey, we're going to, check your car because, the dog ended up, hinting at something. And this is when they found the money. But then they turned around and didn't charge him for anything and didn't find any drugs in the car, but yet again left off with the money. So, like I said before, if you ever wonder how a lot of these cops are able to afford certain things, this is how they're able to afford it. Because whenever they do any of these seizures, they like to keep a lot of the evidence and they split it amongst themselves. They like to keep a lot of the drug evidence as well for a multitude of different stops, and they'll take that back to the evidence room, and they'll do whatever they want to do with it. Like I said before, nobody ever asks the question, what do cops do with the money, the drugs, and all of the weapons that they get after they seize these things, whenever they happen to perform raids, whenever they happen to search somebody's car or their person or what have you. Nobody ever asks that question, nor do the police ever give receipts. They don't like, all right, yeah, we're going to show you a video of us burning all of the things that we found, right? We're going to show you a video of us melting down all of the weapons that we found, right? We don't see videos like that. I've never seen one. Only time, I've literally seen anything like that is down in South America, or maybe in another country like Africa. Those are roughly the only places that I've seen them really get rid of the stuff that they caught. It's like, all right, this is illegal, it shouldn't be here. We're going to actually destroy this so that it cannot be further distributed within the area or the community and affect a multitude of lives. Like those are the things that they normally do. In America, that's not things that they do. Whatever whatever they get and capture, they will keep, split amongst themselves, and they'll push back out to everybody else. Like I told people before, a lot of these cops out here, they practice money laundering. They practice fraudulent activity. They're in quote unquote too deep. A lot of these cops are in gangs, which a lot of people seemingly don't even know or understand. Like you have a lot of cops in bed with gangs where they will decide to be with, who not and whoever, and they'll be the main ones to start up, nonsense with, like other gangs in order to keep up all of that stuff going on the streets. Because if the streets are basically quiet, you know what that means? The cops are going to get bored. They're not going to be able to make that big money doing overtime and doing all of that other stuff. So, like I said, and I've touched on that in some other videos that I've brought to you guys, on the other platform. But as I stated here, for me, at least going by what I'm able to visibly see here, I feel, right, that he was racially profiled because they said that he fit the profile of such and such and such and such. So, like I said, in a lot of other police videos, when they talk about these drug traffickers, they mention ethnicity. They state, the background and who these people are and the reasons why they're doing it and the connections that they basically have, right? So, like I said, he has a case. 100%. He has a case. The main thing that he should not have done is told the cops that they could search his car. He should not have said that. There was no reason for them to search his car at all, and there was no reason for him to even get out of the car at all, because at no point in time did realistically did he do anything wrong. The most that they said, it was like, okay, it was an infraction. Hey, you were too close to this 18-wheeler, license, registration, insurance, all of that good stuff. All they're going to sit up there and do is you give them, the pieces of information that they need. You stay in the car, turn the car off, take the keys out, bam, they're going directly to the car. They'll mark off, check, whatever's good, whatever's not, come back, give you a ticket, or sometimes they'll give you a warning and you're off. Here, that is clearly not what was taking place. Clearly. Because if all it was is a, infraction, violation, what have you, that would have been it. But as stated before, they had an ulterior motive and they felt that they really caught a big fish. They really felt that they did something great, right? They were like, oh, we caught like 85 grand out here. All right, let's not charge them. Let's just like let them like move on, right? Don't give them nothing. And then we'll just walk off with the money. We'll just walk off with the money. Like I said, that's what they like to do. That's what they like to do every single time. And this is clearly why this man has a lawsuit. But yet these are the same individuals who state that they respect, the men and women who are in the armed forces, who, are in uniform. They state this all the time, but yet this is how one of them gets treated. He gets treated like a criminal. He gets, in a sense, told that he fits the narrative. He fits the whatever, these drug traffickers basically look like or how they move. But yet the real criminals are the ones with the guns, the belts, the badges, and the lights. Those were the real criminals that day, because they walked off with this man's money where he had all the receipts that he needed to show, like, yo, this is my money. These are all the transactions. Here is all the paperwork for it. Like I said, they even said that it looks iffy, but everything is good. But yet you still left off with the man's money. Criminals at the end of the day. That's it. But then if you look under some, certain websites where the story is, you will actually have people stating that this whole situation is fishy and that no sensible person would carry money directly on them. You're like, for a lot of those people that 100% believe that this man is in the wrong, you're stupid. You're 100% stupid. People have the right to not have their money in banks. Just 100% people have the right not to do that. Holding your money in a bank is not going to do anything. It's not going to add really any interest to your money. It's not. Let's just be real. It's not going to sit up there and do it. You can literally put your money into a multitude of different assets and different things that will give you more money back versus you keeping your money in the bank for a year. And then on top of that, what a lot of these other individuals don't think about is, what if the power basically goes out? All of your money is digital. You really think that the bank is going to be like, all right, we got you. Everybody just wait in line and we're going to allow you to pull your... No, they're not. They're not going to do that. They're going to close up shop and that's it. Your money is stuck directly in that bank and it'll probably never see the light of day ever again up until everything cuts back on. But yet, you got a lot of people out here saying that this dude is fishy because he's carrying money on him. Realistically, I feel that it's a smart move to do now, to drive around with it and to not have it in a safe, secure location where people don't, know about it. Like I said before, I would opt for him to, move a little bit differently with a lot of money like that. But I feel that it's smart on his part not to have all of that directly in a bank, because he can easily, if anything happens, he has a location where he can go and get his money, pull out the money that he needs, and he can do whatever he needs to do. Like I said, I look at it vastly different from, obviously, I guess a lot of other people out here. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about the video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.